So my neighbor was throwing out this bed frame. Everybody else just sees scrap metal, pile of junk, what have you. When I saw it out there, I went, man, that thing would make a great roof rack. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I can envision
top of the morning, let's tie one on, bartender, keep pouring. Oh, Danny boy, I hear the pipes calling. Leave nobody out in the cold, let them all in. My mother taught me lessons that I'll always remember. I'm always on her side and I'll always defend her. There's been so many times that my dumb ass messed up. She tell me, don't worry, son, things will get better. And she's right, even when it's hard, you gotta try. You can't let this world break you down inside. When I was young and I would cry, she'd wave my eye and sing Tora, Laura, Laura, that's an Irish lullaby.
All right, well, here it is. After I tore everything off of it, it's looking nice. I really love the way it looks. It's sitting on this center support right here, right now. So it's a little wobbly back and forth. That's all right. We'll build some kind of mounts that'll take up that gap on each side. I was thinking about flipping it over, but then this bar, which is underneath, will be on top, and then I won't have a flat surface in case I got to slide a spare tire up, some tools or something. So I'm going to keep that down. Yeah, I got a bunch of work to do up here anyway. So as you see, I got some holes in the roof, some major rust repair in the corner here. Last owner tried to putty it up, you know. And I'll take you over to the side over here where, of course, first thing I got to put on is some lights. Just got them clamped on, kind of getting a feel for it. Like I said, I want it low profile, so I'm thinking about having it come down below the windshield. And for this side light, I'm going to have to take these rails off. There's rust underneath them anyway. So I'm going to unbolt these rails, clean up all the rust, fill the holes in, and I'm going to coat this entire roof. Maybe in some bed liner. We'll see. But I like the idea of the lights being under it. Nothing can take them out on top, branches or whatever. You know, kind of flat in the front. I might do something. I have some square bar. Maybe I'll come off of here with an angle, and then go across. I don't know. I'm going to sit down and stare at it for a while. But I really like the way it looks. That freaking bed frame. Hey, you guys want overlanding? There you go. You got overlanding. Rooftop tent. There's your bed. Ha ha. Bed frame. All right. Let me stare at this thing for a while. All right. So I got these roof rack rails off. And it wasn't too bad underneath. Just a little bit of rust around the screw holes and stuff. I'll patch that up. But I'm going to leave the screws there. I'm not going to fill the holes in. Why ruin it? I could always put them back on. All right, so the bed frame came with these brackets. I think these were like some type of leg of some sort. But I'm going to use those as the mount. So right here I marked where the cross member is in the roof. So when I drill through, it's going to go through the roof and into the cross member. I'm going to through bolt it. So it's not just going through this thin sheet metal. So on these things right here, you know, now that I got exactly where I want it here, now I just got to figure out the height. I'm going to come up a little bit off the roof so it's not resting on the roof and that the weight is on these brackets. So once I figure out the height, then I can cut this here and I can take this and I can weld it onto the bar. That's going to be my mount. It's going to look good. As you see, I got more rust holes. I got a rust spot there I got to fix. I got a lot of work on this roof. Coming around to the front, right there and in the corner, above the driver's door, another rust hole. I gotta get all that patched up. But I want to make sure I got these holes drilled in first. So I'm going to take it off, drill out these holes, get the mounts made, get the height set. And I think I have a surprise for the front. I got something in the works. All right, hang on a second. So the next thing I got to do is take these brackets and I got to cut them down. You know, it doesn't have to be any particular place right now. I just want to cut the bulk of it off so I can set my height, which would be right here. You know, you could use a grinder, you could use a Sawzall. Yeah, but that's no fun when you can use your new tool. New tool alert. So I got the Hercules bandsaw, right? Cordless, handheld. And I got the, turns it into like a chop saw type thing. So, why not? Let's unbox it and let's see how it is. Hold on. All right, here's the new tool. It's pretty cool. A little bit of a pain in the ass to set up. But, you know, I guess if you're buying this kind of saw, you have somewhat of an idea of what you're doing. But, yeah, it comes with a bunch of brackets for all different types of saws. And you have to take the handle off. I thought you just kind of like slid the saw in, it clamped down, and away you went. And that it was easy to pop back out again. Nah, not really. Once it's in there, it's in there. And you even have to center it. You have to center that blade inside the cut with these two black turn knobs on the back. I would recommend every time you cut, make sure it's centered, because I can see that moving. I don't see this saw being the type of saw that would give you a super accurate cut. For what I'm doing, it's perfect. And it is a cool design. All right, cordless. Nice, turns it into a nice chop saw. It's heavy duty. But the best part about it is the stand-up feature. I'm going to need two hands to set it up. Hang on. All right, the stand-up feature. It's cool. I really like it. They recommend you bolt it to the table. So, thank God it lines up to the holes on my welding table. And the best part about it is, where did I put it? Is that it comes with this plate. Right? So then you would take this plate, you slide it on there like that, and you got yourself a tabletop upright bandsaw. That's pretty badass. I like it. But it's a pain in the butt to set up, so get ready. All right, let me do a cut with it and see what it does. Well, that thing made quick work of those. Nice straight cuts. Nice. Glad I bought it. Pain in the ass to put together. Keep the blade straight. But it does the job. All right. Let's get these things bolted in and let's get the height set up on the roof rack. All right, we got those mounting brackets cut down. I got the height where I want. I bolted the mounting brackets down to the inside in here. Yeah, I had to take down my speaker. So I got the brackets bolted down, so I know where they go. They're not going to move on me. And I'm getting ready to tack it. I want to tack these brackets in place where it is, and then I'll pull the whole thing off the roof and do everything else. And I got my little titanium welder here. I really love this welder. You open the door, it's got a gauge on it. I put a piece of tape on the level I got. So I'm running 220 flux core, shielded, non-shielded. I'm not using any gas. The wire's coated. So it helps me to set it, because I grew up with an old Miller-Matic. All you had to do was set the voltage and the wire speed. So that chart is actually pretty accurate. haven't had any problems with it. So we're going to go ahead and tack this. So I picked up this light bar and light bar mount for almost next to nothing from a buddy. Thanks, John. You're the man. And I'm really liking this thing. I was going to build something just like it. The light bar, not my thing right now. I don't think it's going to go. But this bar, it's got, I think it's got mounts for a roll cage. For the front bar of a roll cage. But let's see what it looks. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I like it. It looks good. I'm really trying to hold it, not let it slip and break the windshield, because that would suck. But I like it. It's kind of what I wanted to go with. Yeah. All right, let's get this thing off the roof. Let's get it down onto the welding bench. And let's figure this out. All right, so we got the roof rack, aka bed frame, off the top of the truck. We got those brackets fully welded up. I just got to come back now and just chop off the top of them. And here's that light bar mount. That one on a roll cage. I like it. It's going to stay. And I like this design too. I don't think I'm going to cut. I was going to cut it off, weld it right on. I kind of like the way this looks. I think I'm going to leave this the way it is. And I'm just going to weld it right to it. That's going to be fun because there's two different size metals. But we'll get it done. All right. And then we have these gussets that you can pick up on eBay. Buy them in bulk. All right. I got this one that I notched, channeled, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then, oh yeah, look at that fit. Gonna go there like that. I'll get a couple of these right along the way here as another means of support. I'll make a bunch of those. Kind of cool. And then I got the light mounts. Also on eBay. Company that punches them out. Decently thick. I would say, I don't know, 3/16. And I'm going to weld them up like this. Right across the front right here. Right like that. So then this light, these series of lights, I'm going to mount inside here like this. That's the plan. All right. Let's get at it. All right, and there it is. All grinded, sanded. She needs a good cleaning, and she's ready for paint. Those are the mounts that go onto the roof of the truck. And this light bar mount that I got. Looks a little different now, huh? All right. That was a lot of work. A lot of sanding. A lot of grinding. All right. All right. We got the roof rack all welded together. All the tabs where the lights are welded on. And all the little holes that were in the bed frame, I filled it with expanding foam. All right. So all I got to do now is scrape off the expanding foam, give it a quick sand. This bad boy is ready for paint. And then I also moved on over to the roof of the truck. Started doing some body work up there. I am by no means a body guy, but I know enough to get me in trouble. Look at this one right here. I started cutting the rust out. That's the worst one. The rest are just little patches. One small hole in the middle and the back. So I got to finish cutting that out. See if I can find a patch panel or something. I'm not a body guy. Like I said, I just know enough to get me in trouble. And I am about to get into a whole lot of trouble. All right. Wish me luck. Along here, we got the paint going on the roof rack. That's actually the second coat right there. Gotta let it dry and flip it over. We'll do the other side. Coming on over to the truck. We got it all taped off because we've been sanding it on the roof. fixing up any rust spots that we have. Doing a little bit of cleaning. Got Bondo going on. I love Bondo. I don't know why. I love the smell of it. But we got the patch made for the corner here. We got our first layer of Bondo going on. Got Bondo in the hole in the middle and the back. Gonna wait for that to cure and start sanding on it. Another spot right there had a little bit of low spots. We sanded it down. Put some Bondo on it. All right, we're moving right along. Moving right along. All right, guys. Well, it's days later, literally days later, and finished all the body work. Got the first coat of paint on the roof. There's my new corner right there. All rust repaired, sanded, Bondoed, sanded multiple times. Bonded, sanded, over and over again. Nice and smooth, nice and flat. We're going with a flat black on the roof. All right. We did multiple coats on the roof rack. It's upside down right now. Last coat is finally drying. Looks great. So now we get to start laying out the lights for this thing. So I got the wire harnesses laid out that I had. These were wire harnesses I had for a boat that weren't used. And I'm gonna have to chop it up and use up what I can out of it. I got all these connectors and stuff. I want to make it quick connect, so if I ever had to unbolt it, I could just pull the plug and off she goes. All right, so here's some more stuff. I got 2 boxes of lights that are going to be going on this thing. It's going to be an array of things: spotlights, floodlights, marker lights, flashy lights. Oh man, I'm gonna go to town on it. It's gonna look really sick when it's done. Here's some more connectors that I got. Make a quick connect. I got these wire, I think they're called wire glands. Do a through hole on the roof. Wire gland, make it nice and weather tight. Right? We got ourselves a flashing unit, 2-channel flashing unit for the flashies. And then we got ourselves a box of diodes. These are not like light emitting diodes. These are regular diodes that only allow electricity to flow in one direction. I already put my tester on it and figured out which direction it's going at, hence the red tape. So that would be out, in, and out. So if I'm going to be hooking 2 things up to a single light, it won't backfeed. I won't get a backfeed signal through the diode into something. You guys are just going to have to stay tuned and see what I'm going to do to this thing. So here's the roof rack. Got the lights mounted and the wire and harness laid out. This is my favorite part. I don't know what it is. I just love doing wiring. But it's upside down, and this is the back of it. So we're going to have rear floods. And we're going to have side floods coming around to the front. These are the front lights. Now every single one of these lights also has a yellow beam. There were 3 wires per light. So you got to stay tuned for the flashing unit. See all these things flashy. All right. Coming around to the other side for the other side floods. Got the wire harness all laid out. Wrote everything down as I went. And then we got it going into quick connector. So I can disconnect it and unbolt it from the truck. Had the power probe out, probing everything as I went. And it's ready to go. So I'm going to get some wire loom now. I'm going to wire loom all this wire up. Make it nice and neat. You're not going to be able to see it. And then we're going to throw it on the truck. And then we get to finish wiring it. Oh, I'm so excited. And there it is. All mounted up. Ah, it looks awesome. Got the side lights on. Got the wire loom all done. The only problem I had was the rear lights. The lift gate was hitting the rear lights. So I got to come up with a narrower design light for the back, because couldn't open the tailgate. Didn't take that into consideration. So, but here we go. We're mounting the wire gland. Drill the hole in the roof. Shoving all this wire down in there from the wire harness that I made. And we got this glad hand right here. It's gonna, I made it nice and tight where the threads are gonna grab it and they'll screw right in. So we finished getting the wire gland in place. Now we just come over the top. We tighten that down. And inside there's a rubber. And it's going to squeeze the rubber around the wire. And it's going to make it watertight. And then from inside, I have these nuts. There's a gasket on the top right there. I put this nut on the bottom. It squeezes against the sheet metal of the roof. And that's going to be my connection. And then this is going to be the connection right here. Quick connect. And then we'll be able to remove it if we ever had to. All right, let me get down inside and finish running the wire. All right, so it's the next day. We got the wire ran all the way down through the cab, underneath the truck, and back up again into the engine compartment. Now it's time to start doing all the connections. Now these lights in the front that I got have yellow halos around them, which is really cool. And I want them to flash like a light bar. But I also want them to turn on from a separate switch to be marker lights. So each light is going to serve two functions. Now, I'm sure they sell things that can do this for you, but I couldn't find anything that was cheap. And I'm a cheapskate. I'd rather build something and figure it out myself than spend the money. So this is what I came up with. So I actually had to sit down and draw it out, so I know I'm getting all the connections right. So if you think of electricity like water, water's flowing. So these diodes that I got stop the flow. It's like a one-way valve. It'll allow electricity to flow through it one way, but not back the other. And a pack of, I think I got 20 of them on Amazon for like 10 bucks. Super cheap. And the flashing unit that I got, a 2-channel flashing unit, I think it was 30, 40 bucks. So let's say 50 bucks at the max. I can get these lights to do what I want without backfeeding into each other. So here we go. My switch box. I'm going to have 2 switches on the switch box. One of them is going to control the marker light function. And the other switch is going to control what we're going to call like emergency lights, flashing lights. So down here we have the flashing unit. It's a 2-channel. So we're going to have the 2 channels going up. And I've separated the wires to the lights into 3 on one channel, 4 on the other channel. So make a really cool effect, you know. So those will come out of the flashing unit. The X represents a diode. And it'll go into the 3 lights on one side, 4 on the other. Now, to hook up the marker lights, I got to come across. Now, I don't want the flashing unit to backfeed into my switch box through the marker light wire. So I'm going to have another diode protecting my switch box from backfeeding. And then as it goes across, it's going to run all 7 lights as a marker light. So I got to make sure that electricity is not going to flow back from the flashing unit on both channels into the marker light. So I have to have a diode in the middle to stop the backflow. So if we look at it like water, here's the water flow. It's only going to go one way that way, and up to the light. It's going to come down here from the flashing unit on channel 1, and it's going to go straight up to the light, and it can't make the left. It won't make it past the X. Channel 2, same thing. It'll go through the X to the light, but it won't make the left and come over and grab the other light. So with this diode right here, this channel won't interfere with this channel, and cause them all to flash on the same channel. So this is what I got to build. No big deal. So if you guys can't afford it, a little bit of knowledge, figure things out, there's ways to do it. So let me get building this. We'll get it put in, and we'll have those front lights right there do marker lights and flashy flashies. Oh yeah, I love it. All right, stand by. And here is the final product. You know, I did 2 layers of heat shrinked over the connections, and then I heat shrinked over the entire thing. So this is what it's going to look like. You know, I think I'm put a butt connector on that end, but that is basically a one-way electrical valve. It'll only allow electricity to flow that way. There it is. Cheap. All right, let's get them installed. All right, guys, there's my switch panel, all labeled up. Got a couple of empty spots in the bottom, which I have plans for some other things, probably rock lights and stuff. We finally finished with this switch right here. I don't know if you guys remember that video. Well, that switch is red LEDs in the interior perimeter. Nice. Looking sweet with all these lights. Looking sweet with all these lights. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, Blaze loves it, right? Blaze loves the lights. Right, buddy? If you like what you see, hit the like button. Tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. Throw a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, that's badass. All right, signing out. Thank you for watching.